Go ahead.
No, I was going to say the Brock Purdy thing. Like, I get where a lot of Niner fans are like, oh, they're discrediting Brock Purdy. And, like, I understand. Like, he was awesome this year. He was. Those things happened. But once I think he's established himself as awesome. Like, he's a good player. He's a really good player. He had a great year. Phenomenal year. I might be underselling how great his year was. But once you've proven that you're there, the next step on the ladder is like, all right, now do it in the playoffs, right? Like, part of why a lot of people are believing in C.J. Stroud, and he's done it for 1 year, all right? He had a really big monster game. Now, Purdy's had a monster game, but it's not about the individual game. It's like when you want to be one of the best players, when I talk about Mahomes, right? And we know there's many rungs on the ladder between Mahomes at the top and wherever you think Purdy is. Part of what makes Mahomes is every week, like, you cannot count him out at any possession. He's going to keep coming and keep coming and keep coming and keep coming. Lamar has 2 MVPs, and there are people that are like, yeah, I got to see you do it in the playoffs a couple of times. And I get that. Like, that's when the legends are truly forged. Not the good players, the legends. Part of why we diminish Dak is we don't trust you in the playoffs. Now, Purdy's beaten Dak. He's had better performances than Dak in the playoffs. But, like, a big reason, outside of health, why Jimmy Garoppolo isn't here is the lackluster playoff performances. Purdy's been better thus far in his playoff moments than Jimmy has. But there's still a long way to go. And I think every time he steps on the field in the playoffs, like it or not, Niner fans, you got to get used to it. He is going to be out there shutting people up, and they're going to continue getting people who are going to say, oh, you got to do it again next week. You got to do it in the Super Bowl. Oh, you won a Super Bowl? Do it again next year. That's just how it goes in sports. It sucks. It shouldn't have to be that way, but when you're as good as Purdy is, we move the goalposts. That's what we do.
Well, we move it, too, because he's a quarterback of the 49ers. And his playoff moments.
Agreed.
Listen, he's had 2 game-winning drives in the playoffs against the Cowboys and against the Packers. But you should also say those games, they were struggle buses. And that's okay. What I try to tell people all the time in the playoffs, just go look at the history of the game. Ben Roethlisberger struggled at times in the playoffs, and he's an all-time great. I love Big Ben as a quarterback on the football field. The person, no, whatever. But as a player,
we agree.
Peyton Manning, think about all his playoff runs. He was never the best player on his team during the postseason, during his Super Bowl runs. Eli Manning, so damn erratic. He's had some blunders his playoff games, and he's gotten hot, right? Drew Brees, he's gotten hot, had some blunders. That's what happens in the postseason. This is the best of the best. So the fact that it's going to be muddied, the fact that it's going to look ugly at times, that doesn't mean you need to get off your quarterback. These are the best defenses left in football. These teams have great D-line depth, trenches, linebacker play. They're not giving up an inch. And that's how it should be in January and February when you get to the postseason. It's not going to be pretty. All it is about not turning the ball over and getting to the next play, making sure you give your chance the best chance to win a football game. And that's what Purdy did last week. So I don't know how great he is. I don't know how good he's going to be in the future. Right now, he's been one of the best quarterbacks in the league. He bounced back last week after having a horrendous 3 quarters and found a way to help this team win a football game. So all the naysayers and national pundits on Brock Purdy, honestly, I don't really care about all that.
Well, I would say this. Forget the national thing for a second. Just look at the history of this team with this coach. They will pivot. I mean, they will. So, like, and as long as he's making $800,000, it's all good. It's all good. But this guy will pivot. And this isn't me talking. This is the coach. He's pivoted off Jimmy, Trey. He even told Brock Purdy, if your elbow's not ready, I'm going again. I'm going to try to entice Tom Brady to come out of retirement. So, like, everybody, we all love Brock Purdy. The coach has shown he has very little patience for losing, and there's always got to be a fall guy.
Yep.
Love Kyle Shanahan, but that's one of his character flaws right now.
Well, we'll get there when we get there, though. Right now, Brock Purdy is the quarterback, and you got a game on Sunday against the Lions. You want to prevent yourself from losing 3 straight NFC title games, and I think the Niners will do that. Let's go to Sonny in Bristow. Is it Bristow? Bristow?
It's Bristow.
Bristow. Where's that at?
Yeah. Just outside of D.C.
Oh,
we got a
East
large
Coast.
kind of nation walking around here in Manassas, Costco.
I love that.
You got to Google it.
What's going on, Sonny? What's on your mind, man?
I just want to say, hey, Purdy put his name in the faithful book on Saturday night, and that's what I said with my sons, one who's a Philly fan and one who's a Steelers fan. I said, the name has got to go in the book. And he did it. And today, and and at the end of the year, at the end of February, we're going to be telling everybody, like they told me at the Philly game, sit down and shut up. Because we're rolling. Everybody's like, oh, well, you broke Philly. They were broke before. They were broke.
Good call, Sonny. Let's go to Lucky in San Francisco real quick. Lucky, what's happening?
Hey, top of the morning, fellas. How you guys
Top
doing?
of the morning,
I'm doing
Lucky.
great.
What's up, Lucky?
Man, you know what, man? I'm just ready, man. My heart is beating. I'm ready. I got my boots laced. I'm ready to go. But I'm going to tell you something. I got a dilemma, guys. You know, my wife is from Detroit, so it's going to be a heck of a day. But thankfully, I'll be at work watching it. But, yeah, you know, it's going to be nervous energy, man, for
hey,
both
Lucky,
of us.
Lucky, you ever heard of Ghostface Killer? He has a...
Come on.
Okay,
Of course.
he's got a song, Love Don't Live Here Anymore. You might have to say that to your wife after this weekend.
Hey, she already told me. She's like, baby, you better root for your team because I'm a root for mine. So, hey, that's all.
Bragging rights for life.
I love that.
Bragging rights for life.
I love that. Boots
408.
laced tight, don't even trip.
408. Why are you guys
IFP.
taking shots at Kyle and Purdy today? You should be hyping them up. Come on, man. What the hell are you talking about? Nobody's taking shots at Kyle Shanahan and Brock Purdy. What the hell are you talking about, 408? Use some Q-tips, buddy. Speaking of which, Shanahan on the Lions DBs and their defense. He talks about them. Here's Shady.
They play with their defense. They make some plays, and their whole defense. You see in numbers and you see, 31st, I think, in the pass game. But then when you watch the tape, you kind of realize how they are. They're aggressive in what they do. They mix everything up, which makes them susceptible to big plays. But they're also fourth in causing negatives, and I think they're leading the league in the last 5 games in turnovers. If not, we're top 5 or something like that. I mean, they're a team that really is very aggressive in what they do, which is going to make you hit or miss. But they cause more negative plays than I think anyone in the NFL. I want to say it was 4th on the whole year, and they tie right into that.
Bend, don't break, timely blitzes, and some of the members of the 49ers were talking about that yesterday, their media availability, that, look, being at home, you're not going to have to use a silent count. Ford Field, you would have to use a silent count. They're blitzing left and right. We saw it in Baker Mayfield last week. Just guys coming free off the edge. Whether it was a nickel blitz, a linebacker blitz, guys just coming scot-free. Hell, one play, Aiden Hutchinson didn't even get blocked, and Baker had to throw it away. But they also have lit up this Lions defense. If you do get time, you can light them up. Stafford threw for 367 against them and had time all day. Baker Mayfield threw for 349 against this team. They will give up yards in chunks, and if you take care of the football and you're sound and you know where the blitz is coming from, the Niners are going to have their way against this defense.
What do you think the atmosphere is going to be like out there?
The atmosphere is going to be great, especially for this offense when they're scoring touchdowns left and right, because I don't think this defense can slow down the 49ers on Sunday.
I meant just more the stadium atmosphere.
I'm talking about the game, man. The atmosphere is going to be fine.
Well, there's always an edge.
Atmosphere.
There's always an edge. Like when you go to those old school stadiums, it feels like at night as the sun starts to drop, you feel it like through the television. I can't wait to feel what the energy's like in that building. I can't wait.
Let's go to Joel in San Jose. Joel, what's happening?
Oh, I'm fired up. The stadium is going to be loud. Bonte said it last week. It was the loudest he'd heard Levi's. It's going to be even louder. Bonte, you're absolutely right. They're not going to contain this offense. We're going to get the Purdy 30, and they haven't played a defense quite like ours. They've been in the dome for 11 out of their last 12 games. They gave up 800 combined yards to Nick Mullins. Tell me, all you Niner fans, you remember watching Nick Mullins? He ain't giving up 800 yards.
Right.
Defense is coming. We're getting the 3rd down, and I always ask for it. I need the Thunderstruck. Fire it up. Let's go.
I love that. It should be rocking Sunday at Levi Stadium. Can't wait to get there Sunday for Championship Sunday. Again, these games don't come around often. Like, I think back into the NBA Finals, and I have no idea what's going on with the Warriors. Who knows if we're going to ever host an NBA Finals again? I think we will, but damn, we never know. Cherish these moments, Niner fans. Cherish these moments. What Shanahan and Lynch have done to build this thing to where we're perennial contenders in the NFC. Now, we want to bring it home, no doubt about it. We got the NFC Championship game in our house. It's in our house for the second time since 2019. I feel good about that. I feel good about these Niners. I feel good about Brock Purdy. Now, Dan Campbell, he talked about the biggest challenge getting ready for the Niners. Shameless shout-outs coming up in 4 minutes, Chasky. Listen to Dan Campbell on the biggest challenge of getting ready for the 49ers.
That's easy. It's the distractions. That's the easiest one. All right. Getting ready for these guys is not going to be hard. Knowing what we're getting ready to face, the type of team they are, we already know it's a hard-nosed team. These are, to me, we're two juggernauts that are just going to be swinging at each other. It's not that. It's all the other stuff. It's all the interview requests. It's all the, hey, you look at all the plays you made in this game. You are the best player on their team. What are you going to do this week? Don't you think you need the ball more? Don't you think you need more opportunities for sacks? Don't you think they need to blitz you more? Hey, will you come over here and let's do this GQ shoot? So it's all the distractions. And as long as we block those out and just stay on course, we'll be fine.
There's a 2-minute dissertation from Dan Campbell from yesterday. Did you listen to it, Lovin? Lovin said it's too geeky for me. That's what he told me. Lovin, what did you tell me about this soundbite with Campbell?
Well, no, I just said it's very like football nerdy, maybe for casual fans. For football obsessive people like us, it's great. But
can I be the judge of it?
Well, no, Shasta, you're gonna love it. So
it is unbelievable.
You're one of those people like us.
Don't talk about it. Let's be about it. Can I hear it?
Not
it's like
now.
a 2-minute-long speech. We gotta get the shameless shout out.
We'll do that in a second. Make sure you get it up though, because I want to play it. Dan Campbell's freaking unbelievable.
You love him, huh?
I do like him. I like everything that Detroit's built. I liked him from day one, and a lot of people laughed at him. Remember last year, a lot of people laughed at him. No, I didn't laugh at him. I was like, okay, get this guy a shot.
I remember us playing the cuts about biting kneecaps.
Yeah, it was funny, biting kneecaps.
Hilarious.
But I actually was like listening to the message and started watching videos around him. I said, you know what? Detroit needs somebody like this. They need somebody like this. And you know what? We watch Hard Knocks, and the guy was crying.
We all love the Hard Knocks.
Like,
yes,
come on,
I
man.
agree there.
I respect
when Jamal
these guys.
Williams broke the team down, obviously he's not on the team anymore, but when he was breaking the team down, it was incredible. It was emotional. It was heartfelt.
Let's go to Mr. Overtime in Redwood City before shameless shout-outs. Mr. Overtime, what's happening?
Hey, guys. How's it going? Just a couple quick things. I wanted to give you my prediction for the game, and then just speak about this issue with the national media hating on Brock Purdy. And, Bonte, you coined the term. Draftism is, like, so perfect because that's exactly what's going on. They're discriminating against Brock because of his draft position coming out of college. And I love that even in, discussions with you guys talking with Baldy and how Baldy was like, yeah, that's exactly right. That's what's going on. And then Dibbs even brought it up to Peter King on their show and gave you props, Bonte, for coining the phrase. And Peter King was like, you're absolutely right. That is what's going on.
Wow, I'm gonna hear.
I saw a perfect example of this in a little clip from the Skip Bayless show the other day on YouTube, between Keyshawn Johnson and Richard Sherman debating this. And so Keyshawn is just going on and on about Brock and all this, the baloney. And then Rich comes back and says, well, hey, in this past divisional weekend, Brock and Josh Allen had about the same amount of attempts. Brock actually had a couple more. Brock had more yardage than Allen did. So, why you still consider Allen to be an elite quarterback, but why not Brock? And Keyshawn tried to, explain his way around it and, get away from the point that he's discriminating against Brock. But then he finally came out and said it when he couldn't find another excuse. He said, well, it's because from the school that he came from and where he was drafted, he's not supposed to be here. He's just not supposed to be here with these other guys. And he'll never, then he'll never be, like he kept saying it's all about Shanahan and that Brock is just another better version
well, you know
of
what?
UG
You
and
know
all
what,
that.
Mr. Overtime? Who cares? I don't care what they say anymore about my football teams, my basketball teams, my baseball teams. I don't give a damn what Keyshawn has to say about Brock. I definitely don't care about Skip Bayless. I actually love Jerry Goss asked her the other day. They asked him about, Skip said Jerry Goss said, stop right there. I don't care about the daytime TV host. I don't care about what they say. That's how it should be. We as Niner fans should not give a damn what Keyshawn Johnson has to say about our quarterback. If it gets you mad, if it gets you going, so be it. I don't really care.
Typically, I'm talking about me. I love the high, character, high physical gifts guys. Like I love the Josh Allen types. I freely admit it. I'm a sucker for those. Like it's why I'm in love with Kuminga in basketball. I could see all the physical gifts. I don't love the Kenny Pickett's, the Mac Jones in the first round. 7th rounder, fine, no doubt about it. Do that all year. 3rd round, 4th round, 5th round, fine. But like, there's a reason why I'm not high on like a Kenny Pickett. I also don't think Kenny Pickett sees the field as well as Brock and doesn't have the accuracy as good as Brock. But Like, it goes both ways. There are lots of first-round quarterbacks, Trey Lance being one of them, who just can't play.
Trey Lance may play. We don't even know.
Well, right now he can't play.
I mean, we don't know. He can't play because.
Well, I know Kenny Pickett can't play.
I don't know.
And I know Mac Jones can't play.
Like, hey, look, Trey Lance did not look like he was ready to play in the preseason, but I don't know if he could play as a starting quarterback in this league. We've seen 3.5 games in a preseason game against the Raiders where he looked like dog poop.